What is up, Cowboys Nation? We've got some absolutely earth-shaking news coming out of Dallas today, and you're going to want to sit down for this one. AJ Dillon, yes, the AJ Dillon, the bruising power back with legs like tree trunks, has officially been traded to the Dallas Cowboys in a blockbuster move that's already sending shockwaves through the NFL. If you're like me, you probably checked your phone, saw the headline, and went, "Wait, what?" But it's true. This just happened, and it could have a huge impact not just on the Cowboys' backfield, but on the entire NFC East. We're talking about one of the most physically imposing running backs in the league, a guy who can absolutely demolish defenders in short yardage situations, now wearing the star on his helmet. Can you imagine that combo of thunder and lightning in the backfield now? You've got Javonte Williams providing that burst and agility, and now Dillon, the downhill punisher, to punch it in on 3 RD and 1. Oh man, this is going to be fun. Let's not kid ourselves, this move came out of nowhere. We heard rumors back in free agency that Dillon was in conversations with teams like the Giants and Colts, but the Cowboys? That was under the radar. And now it's real. Jerry Jones pulled the trigger, and just like that, we've got a new face in Big D. So, what does this actually mean? Well, let's start with AJ Dillon himself. He was drafted by the Green Bay Packers in the second round a few years back, and even though he never truly became the full-time lead back behind Aaron Jones, he carved out a very solid career as a rotational back and power option. When Dillon got going, man, defenders felt it. He's not the kind of guy you want to meet in the A-gap with a full head of steam. Just go back and look at some of his runs from 2021 and 2022. Those clips speak for themselves. Dillon is known as Quadzilla for a reason, folks. This guy's got tree trunk legs and the lower body strength to bulldoze linebackers and DBs alike. The stats back it up, too. He's averaged around 4.2 yards per carry for his career, and while his numbers dipped slightly before his injury in 2023, you could see he was still tough to bring down. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, Dillon missed the entire 2024 season due to a neck stinger. That was a legitimate concern for many teams, and it might explain why his trade value wasn't through the roof. But according to sources close to the team, Dillon has been medically cleared, is back to full contact practice, and is eager to prove the doubters wrong. And honestly, that chip on his shoulder might be the best thing Dallas could ask for right now. He's healthy, he's motivated, and he's stepping into a backfield that desperately needed someone to fill the void left by Ezekiel Elliott a few years back. Now let's talk strategy. The Cowboys' running game last year was, to put it bluntly, lackluster. Sure, we saw flashes from guys like Williams and even Rico Dowdle in limited action, but there was no real identity on the ground. They lacked that go-to-hammer on third and short, that guy you can count on when the defense stacks the box. Enter AJ Dillon. With his 247-pound frame and no-nonsense running style, Dillon gives the Cowboys an immediate boost in red zone situations and late-game clock management. Think about those cold December games at NT Stadium or on the road in Philly or New York. Those are the matchups where you need a guy like Dillon to wear down the defense and salt away the clock. He's not the shiftiest back, and he's not going to juke 3 guys out of their cleats, but what he will do is keep those legs churning, pick up the tough yards, and demoralize defenses 1 carry at a time. This trade isn't just about what Dillon brings on the field, though. It's also about what he brings to the locker room. By all accounts, AJ is a high-character guy, a consummate teammate, and someone who takes the game seriously. He's not flashy on social media, he's not causing drama, he just shows up, works hard, and does his job. That's the kind of presence the Cowboys need, especially with a locker room that's filled with young talent and veteran leaders trying to build a championship culture. You add Dillon into that mix, and you get a physical tone setter who's going to push his teammates in practice and give defenses nightmares on Sunday. And let's not overlook the cap situation here. Dillon is coming in on a team-friendly deal, probably a one-year prove-it contract with some performance-based incentives. That's a low-risk, high-reward move by the Cowboys front office, and it gives them flexibility to address other areas, like cornerback or offensive line depth. Now, I know there are skeptics out there saying, okay, but isn't Dillon just a backup? Why should we care? Well, let me break it down for you. Dillon doesn't have to be a 20-carry-a-game workhorse to make an impact. In today's NFL, the committee approach is king. You need multiple backs who can handle different roles. Williams is more of the outside zone and screen guy, while Dillon is built for inside runs, goal line packages, and pass protection. When you have a quarterback like Dak Prescott who thrives off play action and bootlegs, having a legit threat in the backfield forces defenses to stay honest. And once you get into December and January football, it's not about who has the most stylish runs, it's about who can pick up 3 yards when everyone knows you're going to run the ball. Dillon gives you that confidence. Cowboys fans should be buzzing about this move. The fan base has been hungry for a tough, punishing runner since the decline of Zeke. Tony Pollard was great in space, but he never filled that hammer role consistently. Dillon has the tools to be that hammer, and more. And let's not forget how much this helps the passing game. Defenses are going to have to commit extra bodies to stop Dillon, which opens up the field for guys like CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, and Jake Ferguson. It's the ripple effect. One move changes the dynamic of the whole offense. And speaking of ripple effects, don't sleep on how this could help the Cowboys in the postseason. In the playoffs, every yard matters, every possession is precious, and clock control becomes paramount. Dillon is a playoff-style runner, built for the trenches and the grind. You put him behind Zach Martin and Tyler Smith? That's a recipe for fourth-quarter dominance. But let's not pretend this is a guaranteed home run. There are valid concerns. Dillon's vision isn't elite. He's had moments where he runs into his own lineman or misses cutback lanes. And again, the health situation. If that neck injury flares up again, the Cowboys could be right back where they started. But the key here is the value. The trade didn't cost Dallas a ton, likely a mid-round pick or a conditional late-rounder, and they're getting a guy who, at full strength, can change the identity of the offense. It's a calculated risk, and honestly, it's the kind of bold move you need to make if you want to win in this league. No more playing it safe. No more hoping things magically come together. You make moves. You take shots. And this was a smart shot. The excitement is real. Social media is already exploding with memes, fan reactions, fantasy football projections, you name it. I've seen posts saying Cowboys have the thickest RB room in the league, and others calling it Quadzilla meets Texas Heat. And the hype isn't just noise, there's real potential here. If Dillon stays healthy and buys into Mike McCarthy's system, this could be one of the steals of the offseason. And if you're into fantasy football, Dillon becomes a sneaky stash candidate. He won't be an every week starter, but when bye weeks hit or if Javonte goes down, boom, Dillon could be the guy that helps you win your league. He's the kind of back who might not give you 100 yards every week, but he could get 2 touchdowns on 5 carries and ruin your opponent's Sunday. That kind of upside is rare, especially at the price Dallas paid. So what now? Training camp is right around the corner, and all eyes will be on how Dillon looks in pads. Does he still have that burst? Can he handle pass protection? Does he look comfortable in Kellen Moore's newly tweaked run scheme? Those are the questions we'll be tracking closely. But for now, let's just enjoy the moment. This is one of those trades that energizes a fan base, brings a spark to the locker room, and makes every other team in the NFC stop and go, okay, Dallas isn't playing around this year. Dillon brings toughness. Dillon brings grit. And most of all, Dillon brings hope. Hope that when it's 3 RD and 1 in the 4th quarter and you need someone to get that 1 yard, you've got your guy. And his name is AJ Dillon.